Hi, I'm Marcia Winbeckler and I hope you enjoyed today's video. To be sure you don't miss any future videos, be sure to subscribe to our channel, Cake Supplies Plus, at the link here in the video. And you can also go to our website, CakeSuppliesPlus.com, to see the products that we use in our videos and also to see some of our more famous cakes that we've done. Hi, today I want to show you how to make some pretty gum paste or fondant butterflies. And here I have some on cupcakes. You can also do them on a full-size cake like the one shown at the beginning. And I'm going to show you how to make the butterflies using plunger cutters. And you can see these have a nice impression that they make there on the fondant or gum paste. These come in a set of 3 and they make 3 different sizes. So we have a large here, this is the medium, and this is the small one. And I'm going to use all 3 of the sizes for the full-size cake. I used the large one on the cupcakes. So the first thing I want to do is use my fondant or gum paste. I'm using a mixture of both here. You can use fondant and add CMC or Tylose to it. That gives it a little more body. And I'm just going to roll this out. And just to make it an even thickness, once I get this so it will fit, I'm going to run this through the pasta roller attachment on my KitchenAid to about a number 4. So I've used the pasta roller on my KitchenAid and rolled out some of the white fondant and gum paste mixture here. And I like to store them in these big 2.5-gallon storage bags on some of the work mats that I use. And I'm just going to take one of the pieces off here and put it on my silicone mat. Stick this back in the storage bag, the excess. And then I'll show you how these plunger cutters work. Now for the Monarch Butterfly, which is this guy, I don't want the impressions on there. I just want it to be a plain cut. So I'm just going to set it down here and give a little wiggle so it gets a nice clean cut. Lift it up and then gently push and that'll pop it out. And by not, see, I don't have any of the impression lines on there. Now if I want the impression lines on there, I do the same thing. Kind of scoot it around to get a nice clean cut. I'll take the excess away here. And then what I want to do is press down on this, get a nice impression. That's the top plunger part I'm pressing down on. And then on the sides I want to lift up with my fingers and that pops it loose. And you can see the design there is imprinted on the butterfly. And I wanted to show you something kind of cool you can do with these plunger cutters, that the ones that have the impression design in them. Some don't come with an impression design, they're just plain, but this and many others have a design. And what you can do in this is actually for cleaning them also. You kind of either give a little twist or a pull on the handle portion of this, and that comes apart. And then you could wash these 2 portions just with, mild soapy warm water. But then you can also use this portion as a impression tool and just press down on your fondant or gum paste, say for a border or something on your cake. And then to put that back together again, you just want to pop that in there and then put this on the top, set it down and press down, and then it's back together again. So here's the butterfly drying form, and how you want to fold that is first you fold the 2 side pieces back. Kind of give them a good crease there. And then you want to fold this one in the center so it goes up. So I'll fold it back this way. There's instructions printed on there so you can follow those if you can't remember how to do it. And then these open spaces on the side of that, I want to fold it over in half right up to that line in the center and crease it. Do the same on the other side. And then it will, once I crease all the pieces in there, it'll kind of look like an accordion, and the V's here are where the butterflies go. And again, that's available on our website as a free download. If you follow the link that's listed here on the video or the tools that I used, it also has where you can get this free download on our sites. So now the butterflies that I cut out with the plunger cutter, I want to put them in this drying form. Scoot this one in here. And I just want to give them a little bend in the center so they crease where I want them to. Put them in the form to dry. And this one is the one with no impression on it. I'll set it in there also. And this is how you would do all of the butterflies. And then you just set this aside to dry. Takes a couple hours, maybe even overnight is good. And then I have several of the white and several of the pink that I've dried. Actually, it takes somewhere around 20 of the butterflies to make that cake design on an 8-inch tier that I showed in the picture. And then I'm going to bring in one of my work mats just so I don't have as much of an area to clean up here, and show you how I colored the different designs. I'm going to use some pink dust here. And the color that I'm using I'll put in the products used on the website, and then you can color from there. So what I want to do is just take one of my white butterflies and dip in the pink color here and go over it just in the center, and I'm going to work out from the center after I take off some of the color. Get the excess off there, and then sort of just brush to the outside. And I'll do the same thing on the pink one. So here's what it looks like. I'm going to kind of have an ombre kind of effect where it goes from lighter to darker or darker to lighter. And so that's why I started out with some white butterflies. And you want to do the same thing on some of the pink ones. This is a light pink. And add some color in the center and kind of make it fade out a little bit to the edge so you're lighter on the edges. And then what I'm going to do too is take a pink food color pen. And if you're not familiar with the food color pens, this particular brand comes in a set of 10 different colors. And obviously from the name they have food color in them, so they're safe for food products here. I'm going to take the pink, which is a nice bright pink, because I'm going to want some darker ones. Some of them I would leave just with the dust, and then some of the others I'd go in and add a little bit darker in the center here, so that you can go from, you know, the white with just a little bit of pink to the pink with a little bit more of the coloring dusts on there in the center, so it's a little brighter in the centers, and then with the food color pen where it's even brighter yet. Now I want to show you how I can make some of the little butterflies look like they're flying up off the surface, and I want to brush a little bit of the candy coating either on the straw or on the back of the butterfly here. And I'm using a cocktail straw, and to keep it all food so it can go right in the cake. I'm going to cut a little bit of that off because I won't need it that long. And then I just want to set this on the butterfly where the candy is, and then let that firm up, the candy. And it only takes a couple of minutes, and that's why I'm using candy versus something like piping gel or something. And then here's the butterfly after the candy is set up, and you can just push this down into the cake at whatever angle you need it at. And if your butterfly is too heavy, be careful and don't put it at too much of an angle, because it could, you know, tear a little bit there in the cake. So more upright for the heavier ones. The lighter ones, it's fine to have them at more of an angle. And so by using the straw, the straw is a food safe item because it goes in drinks, and you don't want to be using floral wires and things that are going to go on your cake. So this is a nice way to get your butterflies to fly off the surface. And now I want to show you how to make a monarch butterfly, or a butterfly that's multicolored. And to start out with this, I'm going to just have a white butterfly and one with no impressions on it. Then the reason for the impressions is so that my food color pens will glide smoothly on the surface here. And what I want to do first is color the areas that are orange. And you don't have to be exactly precise on this, just kind of the main center areas of the wings. So there's 4 areas. Color all of those. Once you have all the 4 areas on this side and the 4 areas on the back side colored with the orange, and there's a reason you do the orange first versus the black and then going back and filling in the orange area, because if you do the black first and then go back and fill in the orange area, if the black smears at all, it makes your orange very muddy looking. So doing the orange first kind of helps avoid that. And then monarchs have white dots on the outer portion of their wings, and I found that the easiest way to do that, whether making fondant or gum paste butterflies or wafer paper butterflies, when using the food color pen, since sometimes the tips will kind of widen out and kind of end up filling in all those. The way I've found to make so I end up with white spots is to actually make circles where I want the white spots, and then I just avoid coloring in those areas later. So, and you just do it kind of on the outer edge on all 4 sections. And then what you want to do is go back and color in all the areas around those. I usually do an outline here of the orange. And another thing that you need to do is add the veins in the orange areas. And the way that I usually do that is just, you don't have to follow any particular pattern, but I just draw a couple of main lines real lightly. You don't want to press down too hard because it widens out and it gets a little too heavy looking. And then just make some lines that come off of those. So when you have one side done, then you want to put it in the form and let it dry. And then you're going to turn it over and do the other side and turn it to dry that way. And by coloring the underside that way, if you see the underside of the wing, which you would from different angles, then it's colored on both sides and it looks really pretty.